Welcome back, everybody, to Entertainment Tonight in the streets of London. And what's more English than a double-decker bus? And who better to do that with around town than Marisa Abela, the star of Back to Black. I'm so excited about this film.
Thank you.
I'm so excited to go on a little journey with you.
I know, me too.
All right, should we do it?
Let's do it.
After you, my lady.
Thank you. Hello, driver.
Well, not only did you act your butt off, you sang.
Oh, yeah.
Honey, you sang, not, like, for real.
Thank you.
We only said goodbye with words.
I don't write songs to be famous.
You go.
I write songs because I've got to make something good out of something bad.
I was told that's all you.
It is, yeah, it is. I mean, I think it was really important for me to learn to sing like Amy as well as I possibly could. It was never like a for sure that they were gonna definitely use my voice and my voice only. But I was like, why not train as hard as I can to make this at least like look and feel. I wanted to feel like her when I was singing. And then I think that work just really paid off in, you know, actuality. When people were hearing it, they were like, you could do this. Then, you know.
Oh, you could do it. I was like, you know, we know her voice and it's so distinct.
We only said goodbye with words. I died 100 times.
Like, what was the training you went through vocally?
I was doing like 2-3 hours of singing training alone a day for about 4 months. And, you know, for me, it was all about as well, like listening to her influences, like listening to Billie Holiday and Ella Fitzgerald and Lauryn Hill and like these people that just really made Amy Amy. And then once I felt like I understood them as she would have done, I started to focus more on her.
And I think of all things, what you're doing in my head, I'll paint a picture.
When they told you, though, we're gonna use all you. There's not gonna be any mixing, I mean, were you like, oh boy, okay.
I was, but I think something weird happened, like in the prep for this film. I just kind of like, I was in like just beast mode.
Yeah.
You kind of have to be. I was just like, okay, and you just keep going and going, and you just want to get as close to her as possible. And it was funny because now looking back on it, it's so important, the singing and the movements. But for me, it was more like, as long as this is coming to a place where I am as close as possible to like Amy's soul and her energy, then whatever's gonna help, you know.
I've talked to other actors who have done biopics, and just recently, Austin Butler doing Elvis, and he was telling me, like, he dove so deep. And he actually said, I don't think I'll ever shake Elvis. I don't think I'll ever shake that. Do you feel that way about Amy? Like, is she kind of in you now for good?
I mean, like the lessons I learned from her and will always be with me for sure. Like any experience in life that is that massive changes you. And I learned so many amazing things from her, like how to be unafraid and brave with your art and with yourself, and like, but no, I mean, I'm not a method actress. Like the lines between Amy and me, for me, didn't get too blurred, except, you know, that there are definitely times when you're doing something that's that deep that it's painful.
And if my daddy thinks I'm fine, just try to make me go to rehab, I won't go.
You guys don't shy away from anything. You show her troubles, her struggles, all of those things. So sometimes, you know, it is hard to shake when you've had to go deep into someone and you know, not always the rosy parts. When you saw yourself in the mirror for the first time as Amy, what was that like?
Well, I mean, I'd been seeing bits and bobs in my rehearsals, you know. First time I put on those shoes, those massive high heels, and did those little walks. That was really exciting, you know, seeing my work, my movement work really pay off. But yeah, like, when I put the beehive on for the first time, A, I was like, wow, this thing's heavy. And B, I was like, you know, gosh.
How long did that take to put on and then take off?
Oh, like hours every day.
Wow.
Yeah, and also all the tattoos would go on fresh every single day.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I mean, it took less and less time depending on what era we were in.
Yeah, you take us on like an emotional journey with her, but also a physical journey because you don't shy away from her struggles, and you had to shed some weight in order to play her when she was in the real midst of the drug and alcohol abuse. How did you approach that transformation?
I mean, like any of the other transformations, like the physical and the vocal, it was necessary. I think for me, it was a part of her life, this addiction and her struggles with an eating disorder, which are very real for a lot of people.
Yeah.
It was who she was, and having less of yourself physically makes a real difference with how you interact with the world and how the world interacts with you. And I felt it was very important for me to stay true to her physical journey.
From primary school to sell-out concerts. It's going to happen one of these days. Voice like yours, got to.
Well, it's one of the best I've ever heard.
You are the same age now as Amy was when she passed.
Yeah.
So when you think about like everything she went through, and then think about your regular life, who or what are the things and people that keep you grounded?
My partner and my parents and my siblings, my friends. You know, I love my work.
There's some really sweet moments in the film with Amy's family that give us a glimpse of her parents and her friends.
I mean, you know, there's so much about Amy out there. Like, it's a kind of incredible thing about playing someone who was around so recently is that, like, there's kind of an unlimited well of knowledge. But, like, nothing can beat talking to someone that has a story about her on a Friday night, like, in a pub.
Yeah.
Or like, you know, what perfume she liked to wear.
Yeah.
And like what games she played at school. Like, you know, those are, and like who was she at school? Did she have friends, a big group of friends, a small group of friends? These are the things that really shape us into who we, like the essence of us as people. So it was really important for me.
What's one misconception about her life that you hope this biopic clears up?
I think, you know, of course, people are right in understanding that like her story has a lot of tragedy built in.
Yeah.
And that the end of her life is incredibly tragic. The fact that we lost her at all so young is so tragic.
Her mother, Janice, she shared an experience talking to the filmmakers, and she said doing this felt like reliving a day with Amy. How does that make you feel?
It was, you know, it was really amazing and special, and I think we tried. I tried to be as like gentle as possible. Our goal was to inject some agency back into Amy with this film, and to really remind people how funny and sharp and witty she was. So I think they're proud to see that, and I'm so grateful. What a gift.
What's one thing you learned about her that you think audiences will be surprised about when they see the film?
I mean, I think people know her well, reminding people that she wrote those songs. You know, she was 17 sometimes, 18, even 22, and she wrote some of the most iconic music that we have.
I told you I was trouble. You know that I'm no good.
She bared her soul in a way.
And it takes real bravery to be that vulnerable. And I think that's like such an important way of remembering what, like, Amy, because she was everything in one. She was like so vulnerable and raw.
We really get a sense in the movie, and we get clear her definition of girl power.
Yeah.
Do you know what girl power means to me? Sarah Vaughan, Lauryn Hill. You need to know this. I ain't no Spice Girl.
So what's your definition of girl power?
I think power in general is a belief, you know, a belief in yourself and your worth, and a fearlessness about experiencing life, and it's, you know, not doing things because you're afraid, to just dive in. And I think, you know, I really learned that on this film.
You know, one of the things that audiences might be surprised about is that you already have a $1 billion movie under your belt. Barbie.
This is your Nobel Prize.
Yeah, oh my God, yeah. I mean, for, you know, blink and you'll miss me, but I was in Barbie, yeah.
Right, well, you're credited as Teen Talk Barbie, and
That's
we
right.
saw you. We saw you
thank
right there.
you,
What was
thank
that
you.
like, filming that with
It was
them?
amazing.
Yeah.
It was amazing. Because, you know, these are heroes of mine, and like, it was so exciting to step up on that set and see it, You know, the set itself was incredible.
More discontinued Barbies.